I died, choking on my own blood. The metallic tang flooding my mouth as his hands, those same hands that once slipped a ring on my finger, squeezed the life out of me in the dim glow of our Manhattan penthouse. The last thing I saw was her face. My best friend Lila, smirking from the doorway, her red lipstick a slash of triumph while she whispered, "Finally, Grace, you're out of the way." But death isn't the end, it's a goddamn reset button. And when I gasped awake in my old body, 3 years earlier, heart pounding in the sheets of our king-sized bed, I knew this time I'd rewrite the script with their blood on my terms. It was a Tuesday morning in late spring, the kind where the Hudson River sparkled like it gave a damn about your broken dreams. I bolted upright in bed, sheets tangled around my legs, sweat slicking my skin. The clock on the nightstand blinked 7:14 a.m. Same as always, but everything felt wrong, too sharp, too alive. My hands flew to my throat, fingers tracing smooth skin where bruises should have been blooming like ugly violets. No scars. No phantom ache from the fall down those marble stairs they'd staged as my tragic accident. "Grace? Babe. You okay?" Mark's voice, sleepy and rough from the other side of the bed, sliced through the fog in my head. He rolled over, his blonde hair tousled, blue eyes squinting at me like I was some puzzle he hadn't bothered solving yet. God. He looked so innocent then, fresh off that promotion at Goldman Sachs. All boyish charm and empty promises. I wanted to laugh. Or maybe vomit. In my first life, this was the man who'd played house with me for 7 years. Built a life on lies. Then torched it for a younger model. "I'm fine," I muttered, swinging my legs over the edge of the bed. My voice came out steady, but inside, rage boiled like bad coffee left on the burner too long. Fine? I was a ghost in my own skin, handed a do-over by whatever cruel cosmic joke ran this show. Last time, I trusted him. Built an empire in the shadows while he climbed Wall Street's greasy pole. None the wiser that my freelance consulting gig was pulling 7 figures annually from a network of discrete tech patents I'd licensed to Silicon Valley giants. I'd kept it hidden, funneled it into joint accounts he thought were his windfalls, all to play the perfect wife. Supportive. Submissive. Until he decided I was baggage. Lila. The name twisted in my gut like a knife. My college roommate. The one I'd pulled from the brink of dropout with late-night study sessions and loans I never asked back. She'd been the maid of honor at our wedding, toasting to forever with that megawatt smile. But in the end, she'd been the one holding the rope, figuratively, at least, while Mark pushed me toward oblivion. They'd plotted it meticulously, the affair simmering for months. The forged emails painting me as unstable. The accidental overdose of my migraine meds mixed with booze they'd poured down my throat after the beating. The cops spotted hook, line, and sinker. Poor guy. Married to a pill popper, the detective had said, clapping Mark on the back at my funeral. Not this time. This time, I'd be the ghost haunting them before they could bury me. I padded to the bathroom, splashing cold water on my face, staring at the mirror like it might crack under the weight of what I knew. I was 32 again, lines around my eyes softer. Body lean from yoga classes I hadn't quit yet. The date on my phone confirmed it, May 15th, 2022. 3 years before the end. That meant I had time to unravel their web, thread by thread, and weave one of my own. Downstairs, the kitchen smelled of fresh espresso from the machine Mark swore was an investment. He was already at the island, scrolling Bloomberg on his tablet, tie loose around his neck. Rough night? You were tossing like you had the market crash dreams again. I forced a smile. The kind that didn't reach my eyes. Just a nightmare. The usual. I poured myself a cup. Black. No sugar, small victories in reclaiming control. As I sipped, memories flooded back. The first crack in our marriage. That business trip to Chicago where he'd networked too late into the night. I'd found the texts months later, buried in his deleted folder. Lila, miss you already. When's she out of town next? Him, soon. Patience. Babe. She's clueless. Clueless. Yeah, that was me. But not anymore. Listen. Grace, he said, setting down his tablet. That earnest furrow in his brow I used to melt for. I've been thinking about us. The firm's pressuring me for that VP spot. But it's all ours. You know, maybe we should talk about starting a family sooner. Get you out of that home office grind. There it was, the hook. In my first life, I'd quit my side hustle to play broodmare, handing him the keys to my fortune on a silver platter. He'd drain the accounts dry after my death, jetting off to a villa in the Hamptons with Lila, her belly swelling with his heir. The papers called it a love story born from tragedy. I leaned against the counter, crossing my arms. A family? Now? Mark. I'm in the middle of closing that deal with the startup in Austin. It's big, could change everything. He waved it off, chuckling like I was adorable. Come on. You're always saying how stressful it is. Let me take the lead, financially. I've got this. Stressful. If only he knew the half of it. My patents, algorithms for predictive analytics in fintech, were gold mines, licensed anonymously through shell companies. Over 1 million last year alone. Projected to double. But to him, I was the supportive spouse clipping coupons. Not yet, I said, voice firm. His brow twitched, surprise flickering. Good. Let the cracks show early. I like my work. It keeps me sharp, he shrugged, but I caught the flicker in his eyes, calculation. Already. The seeds of resentment. Perfect. The day unfolded like a rerun I could fast-forward through. I drove into the city, the Brooklyn Bridge humming under my tires, radio blasting some pop drivel about empowerment I would have rolled my eyes at before. Now, it felt like a battle cry. My office was a nondescript loft in Soho, shared with a handful of freelancers who thought I was just another graphic designer. Truth was, it was my war room. 3 monitors flickering with code. Encrypted drives holding the blueprints of my empire. First order, secure the vaults. I fired off emails to my lawyers, real ones. Not the divorce sharks I'd need later, updating beneficiaries to a trust in my name only. No joint anything. Next, I pulled up the tracking software I'd buried in our home router years ago, just in case. It pinged Mark's phone, geolocating to a coffee shop 2 blocks from his office. Harmless. For now. By noon, I was deep in a call with my contact at Oracle, negotiating the next license. Grace. You're a shark, he laughed when I lowballed their offer by 20%. What gives? You hit the lottery or something? Something like that, I replied, grinning at the screen. Hanging up, I leaned back, pulse racing. This was power, real, unyielding. Not the performative bullshit Mark peddled at cocktail hours. But revenge wasn't a solo act. I needed intel. And that meant dipping into the past I remembered too vividly. Lila's firm, some boutique PR agency in Midtown, was her hunting ground. She'd accidentally bumped into Mark at industry events, all wide-eyed sympathy for the overworked husband. I pulled up her LinkedIn, heart twisting at the photo, her laughing, arms slung around a client, that same predatory gleam. A quick search on a dark web forum I'd bookmarked in my first life, ironic, since I'd only used it post-mortem in spirit, yielded a PI contact. Anonymous. Cash only. No questions. I wired a retainer from an offshore account. Tail Mark Riley. Discreet photos. Texts if possible. Report weekly. Got it, boss, the gravelly voice replied. You suspecting infidelity? Worse, I said. Treason. As evening fell, I prepped dinner like nothing had changed. Grilled salmon, quinoa salad, a bottle of Napa Cab. Mark strolled in at 8, loosening his tie, planting a kiss on my cheek that tasted like deceit. Smells amazing. Tough day. Productive, I said, pouring wine. We ate in the dining room overlooking the skyline, city lights winking like conspirators. Conversation flowed, his merger drama, my consulting wins, but under it, I probed. Hey, remember Lila's birthday last month? She mentioned expanding her firm. Think she'd take on your team for branding? He paused, fork midway to mouth. Lila? Yeah. She's killing it. Why? Just thinking synergy. I sipped, watching him. You two catch up much? A beat too long. Nah, not really. Busy schedules. Liar. The first thread pulled. That night, as he snored beside me, I slipped into the guest room, laptop glowing. The PI's first prelim, a grainy shot of Mark and Lila at that coffee shop, her hand on his knee under the table. Timestamp. Today, 10:17 a.m. My stomach clenched, but not with hurt, with fuel. 3 years. I'd stretch it out, make them dance on hot coals, believing they held the power. Then, when they lunged, I'd sidestep and watch them plummet. But as dawn crept in, doubt gnawed. Was this justice or madness? In my first life, I'd loved him, fiercely, foolishly. Now, that love curdled into something sharper, a blade I'd hone daily. No mercy. No regrets. The weeks blurred into a tense tango. Mark amped up the charm, surprise flowers from a Tribeca shop, weekend getaways to the Catskills where he'd hike shirtless. Flexing for compliments, I doled out sparingly. You're distant lately, he said one night by the fire pit, stars pricking the upstate sky. Everything okay at work? I nestled against him, playing the part. Just overwhelmed. But you're right, we should plan that family talk. His face lit up, ego stroked. Hook, line, sinker. Behind the scenes, I built walls. My income streams? Diverted to new LLCs. Layers of anonymity thicker than Fort Knox. I hired a financial advisor, ex-FBI, paranoid as hell, to audit our joint assets, quietly siphoning my contributions into untouchable havens. You're protecting yourself. Emmis. Riley, she said over encrypted Zoom. Smart. Husbands can be unpredictable. Unpredictable. Understatement of the century. Lila entered stage left at a rooftop gala in Chelsea. The kind where champagne flowed and deals were sealed in whispers. I spotted her across the crowd. Auburn waves cascading. Emerald dress hugging curves she'd augmented since college. She air-kissed cheeks, laughing that throaty laugh that masked venom. Grace. Darling. She enveloped me in perfume. Chanel no.
5.
Same as always, her hug lingering just south of appropriate. You look fabulous. Mark says you're buried in work. Always, I replied, clinking glasses. Up close. Her eyes darted, assessing, plotting.
And you?
Conquering PR one scandal at a time. She waved it off.
Oh, you know.
Keeping the wolves at bay. Her gaze flicked to Mark, schmoozing a cluster of suits nearby. Speaking of, have you met his new boss? Total shark. Reminds me of you. Flattery. The serpent's tongue. I smiled, teeth bared. Flattered.
Hey.
We should do lunch. Catch up properly. Love that. She squeezed my arm, nails digging like warning shots. It's been too long. Too long. Indeed. The lunch was set for Friday at Le Bernardin, her pick.
Flashy as Jerego.
I arrived early, claiming a corner booth with a view of the entrance. My phone buzzed. PI update. More photos. Mark slipping into her office after hours. Blinds drawn. A transcript snippet. We can't keep doing this. Lila. Grace is sensing something. Her reply, let her. She's got no proof. And when the time comes, we'll make sure she never does. Ice in my veins. Sensing something. How right they were. She swept in 10 minutes late, apologies bubbling like the Prosecco she ordered. Traffic from the Holland Tunnel, nightmare. We ordered seared scallops for her.
Tuna tartare for me.
Small talk first, mutual friends' divorces. The latest Met Gala fiasco. Then,
The probe.
so, marriage treating you well? She asked, spearing a scallop. Mark's glowing these days. That promotion suits him. He's thriving, I said, meeting her eyes. But it's us against the world. You know, wouldn't trade it. A flicker annoyance? Jealousy? Adorable. You two are goals. She leaned in, voice dropping.
Though.
Between us girls. If he ever steps out of line, you deserve better. Someone who sees your fire. My turn to pause. What makes you say that? Just intuition. She shrugged, but her smile was a scalpel. Men like Mark, they chase shine. But you're the whole damn diamond. Clever. Sowing doubt. Positioning herself as confidant. In my first life, I'd confided in her after finding those texts, only for her to gaslight me. You're paranoid.
Grace.
Stressing over nothing. Then, the alliance solidified. Noted, I said lightly. But loyalty's my jam. Speaking of, your firm's killing it. Any big clients poached from Wall Street? She perked up, ego baited.
A few.
Confidential. But let's say emotions run high in mergers. Her foot brushed mine under the table. Accidental? Mark could use a rebrand soon. I owe you for the intro. You do. I signaled for the check, sliding my card over before she could protest. My treat. Old times. As we hugged goodbye on the sidewalk, her whisper tickled my ear. Take care of yourself.
Grace.
New York's a jungle. Always do, I murmured. Jungle? I'd burn it down. Back home, Mark was on a call, pacing the living room,
Yeah.
Close the deal. Don't care about the optics. He hung up, spotting me. How was lunch? Enlightening. I kicked off my heels, pouring scotch neat. Lila's got your number. You know. He laughed.
Too quick.
What? She spilled dirt. Something like that. I handed him a glass.
Clinking.
To secrets. His eyes narrowed. Just a fraction. Game on. The tension ratcheted like a thriller I'd binge-watched in downtime, slow burns leading to infernos. I escalated subtly, forgetting to log out of my email on the shared iPad, leaving breadcrumbs of lucrative deals visible. His curiosity piqued. I caught him snooping one night, feigning sleep as he scrolled. Meanwhile, the PI dug deeper. Lila's finances?
Shaky.
Debts from a failed startup. Loans from shady lenders. Mark's gifts, checks disguised as consulting fees, propping her up. And the kicker, emails plotting my exit strategy. Frame her for embezzlement. He'd written, "Your tech savvy can hack the trails. Once she's discredited, the divorce is clean, and the money's ours."
Ours.
As if I'd share crumbs. My controversial call came mid-July, humidity thick as betrayal. A whistleblower contact from my Oracle days reached out, dirt on Mark's firm. Insider trading whispers. Reported anonymously, and heads rolled, including his. But that meant collateral, innocence fired, market jitters. Morally gray? Hell yes. Necessary? Abso-fucking-lutely. I drafted the tip to the SEC, fingers trembling over send. For every lie, I whispered, hitting enter. By morning, headlines screamed, Goldman Sachs probe, VP suspect in tip-off leak. Mark stormed in at dawn, face ashen. Grace, you see this? It's bullshit framed. Probably competitors. I brewed coffee. Calm as a summer storm.
Awful.
You okay? He collapsed onto the couch, head in hands. If this sticks, we're done. The house. Savings gone. Our savings. My empire. Funneled through him. I sat beside him, hand on his knee, mock solace. We'll fight it. Together. But as he dialed his lawyer, I texted the PI, escalate. Full surveillance on Lila. Find the leverage. Leverage arrived 2 days later. A USB drive. Dropped in a dead drop at Washington Square Park. Photos. Recordings Lila in a midtown hotel. Not with Mark, but a venture capitalist twice her age. Negotiating favors for funding. Blackmail material. Ripe for exposure.
The twist?
The VC was a rival to my licensing partners. Leak it. And her rep tanked. But ripples hit my network. Another gray choice. I waited over takeout lo mein in my loft. City horns blaring below. Expose her. Accelerate the fall. Risk my anonymity. Or hold. Let it fester. I chose fire. An anonymous post to a gossip subreddit, PR princess or call girl. Screenshots inside. And watch the blaze spread. By evening, Lila's Twitter was a war zone. Lila lies trending. Clients bailing. Her call came at 9 p.m. Voice shrill through tears. Grace? What the hell is this? You see the posts. Terrible, I said, feigning shock. Sounds vicious. You okay? It's lies. Someone's out to ruin me.
A sob.
Mark's radio silent, SEC bullshit tying him up. Sympathy dripped from my tongue. Lean on friends. I'm here. Friends. Bitter laugh.
Yeah.
Lunch soon? I need you. Name the time. Hanging up. I poured bourbon. The burn matching the thrill. They were cracking. Fractures spiderwebbing. But the real storm brewed in me, nights where I'd wake screaming from death echoes. Throat raw. Was this revenge or self-destruction? Mark's touches felt like acid now. Every I love you a lie echoing. August heat wave peaked with a confrontation I orchestrated. Mark's emergency meeting at Lila's office. I'd hacked his calendar. Simple phishing email disguised as a firm update. I tailed him in a rental sedan, parking curbside as he ducked into her building. Collar up against the drizzle. 20 minutes. Then, out they tumbled, arguing in hushed fury, her gesturing wild, him shoving her into an alley for privacy. I slipped from the car, phone recording, heart thundering. You idiot, she hissed. The leak, it's her. Isn't it? Grace sniffing around. Paranoid much? Mark snapped. She's clueless. Always has been. Clueless? She's got money we don't know about. I saw the statements. Transfers she hides. Silence. Then, his voice. Low venom. Then we speeded up. The pills. The note. Make it look like depression from the probe. Cops won't dig. My blood froze mid-stride. The plan. Voiced raw. I edged closer. Lens zooming. Capturing every word. Every sneer. Back home, I uploaded to a secure drive, labeled Exhibit A. But the weight crushed, knowing their endgame. Feeling the noose they'd tied before. The Galleredix, Labor Day bash at the Standard Hotel. Skyline throbbing with bass. I wore red, power color, slit dress whispering against my thighs. Mark arrived solo. Ty askew. Eyes bloodshot from stress. You look dangerous, he said, kissing my hand. Feeling it. We mingled. His grip on my elbow possessive tight. Lila appeared fashionably late, gaunt under makeup. Smile brittle. Grace. Mark. Awkward triangle. I broke ice. Rough month. Drinks on me. At the bar. Shots of tequila burned going down. Lila. Loosened. Vented. This city's eating me alive. Clients ghosting. Rumors. Her eyes welled. You ever feel like starting over? Every day, I said.
Clinking.
Mark shifted. Uncomfortable. Later. On the terrace. Wind whipping. He pulled me aside. Lila's a mess. The posts, it's killing her career. Poor thing. I lit a cigarette, habit from stress dreams, exhaling slow. You too close. He hesitated. Like family. You know that. Family. Ash flicked over the railing. Funny how family stabs you in the back. His face paled.
What?
Nothing. I stubbed it out.
Turning.
Just thinking about loyalty. The seed planted. I watched it sprout over bourbon nights. Mark grew erratic, late returns. Phone face down. Lila's lunches turned desperate. Her stories laced with what-ifs. What if I disappear? New city. New me? November chill bit as leaves turned. My empire boomed, another patent sold. 8 figures wired. I celebrated solo. Bubble bath steaming. Jazz crooning. But victory soured. Loneliness echoed in the penthouse halls. The PI's final dossier landed. Lila's desperation peak. She'd pitched Mark on the plan now.
Pills in my wine.
Staged suicide amid financial ruin from his probe. They'd split the inheritance, her cut funding escape to Miami. I confronted subtly. Over Thanksgiving turkey, irony thick. Family absent. Just us three via Zoom mishap. Lila joined from her laptop. To new beginnings, I toasted. Eyes on them. Post-meal. Mark cornered me in the study. Grace, we need to talk. About.
Divorce.
Blunt. Like ripping a Band-Aid. It's not working.
I've
met someone. Lila. The Mistress unveiled. In my first life, I'd begged. Bartered.
Now?
I laughed cold. Shattering. Someone. I circled him. Predator's prowl. Let me guess. Fiery. Ambitious. Thinks she can outplay me. His jaw slackened. How? Clueless. Remember? I pulled the USB from my clutch. Dangling it. Play it. Trembling.
He plugged in.
Their alley argument filled the room. Pills.
Note. Depression.
His face drained to ghost white. Grace. I can explain. Save it. I snatched it back. You kill me once. Won't get the chance again. Killed. Echoed. Disbelieving. In here. I tapped my temple. The future you stole. But I'm back.
Mark.
And hell's coming with me. He lunged, instinct. Rage, but I sidestepped. Knee connecting with his groin. He crumpled.
Gasping.
You're insane. Smart. I dialed 911. Voice steady. My husband's assaulting me. Send cops. Sirens wailed soon after. Cuffs clicking on his wrists as neighbors gawked from windows. Lila burst in mid-chaos. Phone in hand, Mark. What's? Frozen at the sight. Him dragged away. Me composed. Ambulance lights strobing. Grace? Her voice cracked. What did you do? Protected myself. I stepped close. Breath mingling. Your turn next. Cops hauled her to obstruction. Accessory whispers from my planted evidence. The USB? Duplicated. Hand-delivered to the DA with a note. Full confession inside. Follow the money. Interrogation rooms buzzed. Mark lawyered up, spilling half-truths. Lila cracked first. The affair. The plots. Debts driving her desperation. But the twist gutted me. Recordings revealed Mark's scheme predated her involvement. He'd courted her as pawn, promising half my hidden fortune he'd sniffed out months before. She wasn't mastermind, just desperate accomplice. Courtroom climax. Winter 2023, Federal Plaza. Air thick with flashbulbs. I took the stand in tailored wool. Hairpin severe. Prosecutor. MS. Riley. Did your husband conspire to murder you? Objection flew. Speculation. But my testimony flowed. The affair proofs. Financial trails. Their voiced intent. Gasps rippled as audio played. Pills.
Note.
Mark. Shackled. Glare daggers. Lila. Beside him. Sobbed silent. My eyes?
Ice.
Cross-exam. His slick attorney. MS. Riley. Isn't this revenge fantasy? You fabricated. Objection. My lawyer pounced. Sustained. Jury deliberated 2 days. Verdict. Guilty.
Both.
Manslaughter conspiracy.
Fraud.
Sentences. Mark. 25 to life. Lila. 15 with parole shot.
Outside.
Rain lashed sidewalks. Reporters swarmed. Mrs. Riley. How do you feel?
Free.
No smile. Just truth. But the real twist waited in the shadows. As I drove home, penthouse sold. Proceeds to charity for domestic abuse survivors. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Grace? It's Elena. From the PI firm. You missed a detail in the dossier. Call back. Heart stuttered. I pulled over.
Dialing.
What detail? Your death and that future? Not just them. You pushed back, hard. In the struggle, you fell. Self-defense.
But.
You chose the fall. To end the pain. Lies? Or buried memory? Choking sob escaped. Had I orchestrated my own end? Too broken to fight?
No.
Bullshit. I was reborn for this. Victory. Hollow but mine. Months later. New loft in Brooklyn. Skyline distant. My empire? Expanded. Millions flowing to causes. Women's shelters. Tech scholarships for underdogs. Dates? Casual. Cautious, no rings. No rushes. One night, wine glass in hand, I scrolled news. Mark's appeal denied. Lila's prison letters unanswered. A package arrived anonymous. Postmarked upstate. Inside, his wedding ring. Engraved forever. Note, you win. But was it worth it? I burned it in the sink. Flames dancing. Worth it? Every scar. Every sleepless night. Because in the mirror now, I saw not victim. Not ghost, but grace. Unbroken. Unafraid. And if shadows whispered of another reset, I'd do it sharper. Meaner. American dream. After all, rise, fall, conquer.